Here we go. Nebraska is gearing up for an absolutely monumental official visiting weekend, hosting some of the best prospects in America on campus. So in today's video, I'm going to update you on everything going on behind the scenes before OV Weekend 1. Every single Nebraska visitor in detail, who these guys are, what they bring to the table, which ones will commit to the Big Red, all the 5 stars visiting, 4 stars, some guys who might not show up at all, a couple others who are on commitment watch in these next couple days. Some problems brewing with this class that we need to talk about, everything you can expect from this weekend, and so much more. So real quick, this is a loaded jam-packed Nebraska recruiting update, OV Weekend 1 preview. I'm fired up. You are too. Hit that like button. And also, the storm is here. Nebraska recruiting is about to explode in this month. This is the only channel that really covers Nebraska recruiting every single day, whether it's breaking news, commitments, inside intel. If you love Nebraska recruiting, of course you do. It's completely free. Take you a second, join the family, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. Let's just jump right into it. Official visiting weekend number 1 is officially here. Now, over the next 3 weeks, Nebraska will host some of the best prospects in America, multiple 4 stars, a couple 5 stars, trying to solidify one of the best classes in the history of the program. Ideally, top 15, top 10. We'll see if they can get there because, while there's a lot of good things going on in Nebraska's class, there's also a couple things to be worried about. But as it stands with Nebraska's 2027 cycle, we're, of course, top 20 nationally, according to On3, at 18th in the country, 7th in the Big Ten. We have a class score of about 90. We have 11 total commits, 6 of those being 4-star or 5-star worthy prospects. Of course, Trey Taylor is about to earn his 5th star in these next couple days. Torrey Pittman likely will get back to being a 5-star like he once was. And then Jordan Agmanova, Corey Haley, all of those guys could be future 5-stars depending on their senior season. So it's a phenomenal start for Nebraska's recruiting class. But as I like to tell you, this needs to get up to about 25 commits, and they need to be high quality 4-star commits for this to be the class that we once anticipated it to be. It's a loaded weekend. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a plan of action for this weekend for Nebraska. First off, when all these prospects come here, who we're about to talk about, you need to make them feel at home. Not only should you make the prospects feel at home, you need to make their families feel at home. Every single time I talk to recruits, I talk to their parents, they tell me how important it is for the whole family to feel like Lincoln's the destination for them, right? The prospect is, one guy, but he's only 16, 17, 18 years old, right? The mom needs to love Lincoln, right? The dad needs to love Lincoln. It's important for the entire family to be a part of it, and that's what Nebraska's done well in the past, right? We need to have a clear vision for all these players of their role in their playing time, ideally being day one. We need a clear vision of development. Hey, if you're going to come, you're going to be developed at a very high level. We need to take care of them from an NIL standpoint, right? We don't want to be, throwing around money loosely and recklessly, but yeah, we want to make sure, some of the better prospects here are compensated, right? And we're competitive with some of the best teams in America. We need, all of our current commits to peer recruit these guys. And last but not least, and this is something that, we'll continue to talk about throughout this video, we need these prospects who visit Nebraska this weekend to commit ASAP. Because I'm telling you right now, if they leave Nebraska uncommitted and they go to another school and they start visiting other programs, Nebraska's odds of letting them shrink dramatically by the day. With the way college football recruiting is nowadays, again, you want them to commit pretty much on campus, if not a day afterwards. Because, when they go on to another school, the price tag increases. So it's important for Nebraska to push for these guys to commit ASAP. I think, we're going to get a lot of commits. Actually, I know we're going to get a lot of commitments on Sunday night, Monday night, some confirmed, some coming very soon, some inside intel. But let's get into it with every single Nebraska visitor this weekend. Let's begin with the headliner, the biggest name on campus, no question, from a star standpoint. This is Rivals' top 10 player in America, number 2 guard in the country, 5-star Albert Simeon. Now, this is somebody who we've talked about on the channel for over a year now. Nebraska has been recruiting him since he was a freshman in high school. Of course, that he's listed at 6'3", 300 pounds, and his recruiting process has really gotten interesting as of recently. Of course, when you're one of the best guards in America, everybody wants you, and he has every single offer in the country. He has Alabama, he has Georgia, he has Miami, he has Michigan, he has Ohio State. But what's really gotten interesting with Albert Simeon's process has been, first off, the financial capacity, right? Like, I want to make it very clear, Albert Simeon is not going to get paid $1 million, right? Like, guards don't have as big of a market as tackles do. Like, he'll probably get paid maybe $400,000, $500,000. But he certainly has a big market. But what's also getting interesting with Albert Simeon are the teams who are making a push. Now, for the longest time, it was Nebraska, it was LSU, it was Texas A&M. But we've seen Notre Dame, as of these past couple weeks, they've made a tremendous push for Albert Simeon. We've seen Alabama. They've made a tremendous push for Albert Simeon to the point where Nebraska, we know we're not the favorite in the clubhouse to land his talents. but we might not even be top 3 at this point. So we were wondering, okay, is this guy even going to show up on campus? Do we even have a chance? We do have a chance for Albert Simmons. He's going to be here this weekend. Now, I do expect Nebraska from a financial standpoint to be competitive. We need to sell him on everything but NIL. Like, are we going to be the leader of the clubhouse on NIL? Probably not, right? Again, you got some Texas A&M, you got Texas A&M in the mix, right? Texas A&M will be competitive, right? Notre Dame will be competitive. You just have to at least be in the ballpark and then say, Albert Simmons, you're going to go to Nebraska because first off, you're going to be developed at a high level Jeep weight. You're going to play day one. You're not going to get that elsewhere. You're going to be a part of, something bigger than yourself. You're going to be different. And honestly, maybe Nebraska even needs to negatively peer recruit the other schools. Say, hey, Texas A&M, they already have 3 5-star offensive line commits. Like, do you really want to be a part of that? A program that has historically not developed well on the lines, and they already got dudes who, it's going to be competitive, right? Notre Dame, same thing. But it's going to be a tough one for Albert Simeon. And again, he has a great relationship with Trey Taylor. That's awesome. But Trey can only do so much. Trey's not a coach, right? Trey's not, offering money. Trey's not offering playing time. But it's very, very important for Nebraska to build that relationship with Albert Simeon. He's been here a million times already. It's not like he's visiting campus for the first time. But it's important for Nebraska to honestly maybe even treat like he's visiting for the first time. Like, roll out the red carpet, make him feel like a priority, make him feel like the guy. At Texas A&M, he might have not felt like the priority. There are other 5-stars there. Like, he's the guy on campus this weekend. But I'm telling you right now, Jeep Way, I love what he's done so far this class. Jordan Agbanova, he's landed a KD Jones, landed a Tamia Liu, landed a Matt Erickson. If somehow you can get an Albert Simmons, I'm going to tell you this right now, I don't think Nebraska will land him. It's great that he's going to visit the Huskers this weekend. I don't think we're going to land him when it's all said and done. If Jeep Way can prove me wrong and land Albert Simmons against all the powers, against all the forces, against all the money maybe going against us, if he can land Albert Simmons, this man should be crowned even before a single snap is played. Because that tells you how good recruit Jeep Wade is. But Albert Simmons, certainly the biggest guy on campus. Is he going to commit to Nebraska? I doubt it, but very, very important that he's on campus so Nebraska can at least get a say in his process before he announced in late June. Then let's go to the secondary here for the Big Red. A pair of 4-star visitors all leading toward the Big Red, but all have a very interesting recruitment. Of course, Jalen Hill out of St. John Bosco, Bellflower, California, 6'3", 160. Crystal Boss have been in for about 2 months now for him to commit to Nebraska. I mean, this dude's legit. I am such a big Jalen Hill fan. He's one of my favorite DB prospects in years. I mean, Torrey Pittman is up there, and Jalen Hill's probably number 2. And it's great that we have them both in the same class. Danny Oma, of course, is up there as well. But listen, Jalen Hill is somebody where the best ball skills you're ever going to see. 50-50, jump ball interceptions, bring it back to the house. He's 6'3", man coverage, speed, everything you want can take. I mean, he is unbelievable, right? He plays against the best talent over there, St. John Bosco. I mean, he's going to be a day one instant impact player. Addison Williams recognized that. He's going all in to land him. We were worried about his official visit last weekend to Washington. We thought, okay, maybe Washington's going to change something there. He didn't make the trip to Washington. He said, nope, I'm just only going to visit Nebraska. He's visiting Nebraska this weekend, and he set a commitment date for June 9th, and that will likely be to the Big Red unless something unforeseen were to happen this weekend that rubs him the wrong way. But Jalen Hill fully expected to be a part of this recruiting class in about 1 week from today, assuming he has a good weekend with the Big Red. Also, Bryce Williams, one that's a little bit more up in the air now. Again, he visited Oklahoma last weekend, and it went well. From everything we heard, the 6'2" and 180-pound corner out Fort Lauderdale, 4-star according to every single recruiting site. Somebody who's incredibly scrappy, very similar height to Jalen Hill, similar speed. Not as great ball skills, but if anything, he could tackle at a higher level. Again, he's so scrappy in coverage, man. He's always poking the ball free. He's the PBU king. So, big fan of Bryce Williams in his game. We know that, again, Nebraska's been the favorite for a while, too. Crystal Balls have been in for a while, but then entered Clemson, then entered North Carolina. He scheduled official visits for both those programs. Then he canceled those official visits, and then he brought in Oklahoma, who just offered him. Then he went and visited Oklahoma. It went very well. But from everything we heard from the Sooners, he liked Oklahoma, but he doesn't have that relationship that he has with Addison Williams. Addison's been recruiting him forever. Oklahoma just offered him a couple weeks ago. And Oklahoma's not one of those teams that offers a lot of money. And again, I want to make this very clear. Money's not going to be a really big player in Bryce Williams' recruitment, nor will it be in Jalen Hill's. Like, money is only really a player for, like, the high 4-stars, and particularly guys in the trenches and the quarterbacks. But, like, the mid 3-stars or the 4-star, the normal 4-stars, like, money's not a huge thing. Money plays a little bit of a role, but it's not like these guys are going to pay a lot. Like, it's not like these guys are millionaires or anything close to that, right? Like, if anything, it's low 6 figs. So money won't really be even thing in this process, but it's mostly the relationship with Ash Williams and playing time. And then with everything we've heard, I do believe Bryce Williams will commit to Nebraska very, very soon after his OV. I mean, there's no reason for him to wait. Like, he's not going to any other program. And I do expect Bryce Williams and Jalen Hill to be Nebraska Cornhuskers by the time we get to our second OV weekend. All right, we're just getting started, though. That's only 3 players, and we have a whole lot more to talk about, along with some surprises along the way. Really quick, though, got to thank the partner of today's video, that, of course, being Prize Picks. It's the first day of the NBA Finals. It's finally time for me to pick my NBA Finals. Who I think is going to win game 1. Where's it at? Is it at? Oh, it's at San Fran, isn't it? Wait, is it? Is that San Fran? I thought it was at San Fran. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to pick the Knicks to win game 1. I think the Knicks will win the series, even though everybody's picking the Spurs. I'm going to go more on Brunson, more on Victor Wembanyama rebounds. But again, you guys know the deal. Use my code HMA. Code HMA. You put in $5, get $50 back instantly in the labs. Make sure only play responsibly, and if you have the means. Big shout. Prize Picks partnering with me on the channel. All right, let's get to all the rest of Nebraska's visitors. Again, Nyziah Obadi showing up on campus here. In my opinion, I know Albert Simeon's the biggest recruit on campus for Nebraska. This is the biggest recruit on campus from a must-get standpoint. Like, if Albert doesn't commit, it is what it is. You got other options on the offensive line. We have no other options at the D-line spot, particularly, at defensive tackle. Like, we do have options, but you go from a 4-star Nyziah Obadi to low 3 stars. Like, it's such a big drop-off. Nyziah Obadi just visited Missouri. It went really well. They rolled out the red carpet. He's down to Nebraska, Missouri. No other visits after this. He's probably going to take a little bit of time to, wait till his commitment. So I don't expect maybe, news on Monday or news on Tuesday. He's somebody who might wait until, like July 1st to commit. He'll definitely, take his time. But I mean, he's a mauler, man. He's somebody we just reacted to the other day. Strong, he's super athletic, again, at 280 pounds, really good build, somebody who's great in the run game. He's stopped the run at a very, very high level over there in Minnesota. Again, somebody with very long arms, can play all over the defensive line, whether it's at nose, whether it's at 3-tech. I'm a huge fan of Nyziah Obadi. You got to land him. I don't care what it takes. If you do not land Nyziah Obadi, if Nebraska does not secure his commitment, we have to have some very tough conversations once again about this defensive line class for the 2nd year in a row. I don't want to do that. Because, again, last year we didn't land a single defensive lineman until the last second because we got lucky that Dylan Berrymon was academically ineligible at Texas and we just swooped him up. But we got bailed there. And we probably weren't going to land a defensive line commit last year. This year, it's trending that same way if you can't get Nyziah. Or we have Jaden Traver, sure. But, again, you want a 4-star. You want somebody who's a 4-star, game changer. Nyziah is that. I like where Nebraska stands, to be honest with you. But, again, still a lot of work that needs to be done. Colby Rhymes. Now, this is one of the tentative people who's expected to visit Nebraska this weekend. Now, of course, he just committed to Missouri 2 days ago. We talked about it yesterday. I said, he's not going to visit Nebraska. We then received an update that he still might visit Nebraska after his Missouri visit. He's went to Nebraska multiple times. He wants to make 100% sure that he made the right decision to the Tigers. So again, we'll see if Colby shows up. He's somebody we won't know until like Saturday, whether or not he's actually going to be here or not. My guess, I think it's really, really 50-50. I think it's completely 50-50, but hopefully he does show up and we try to flip him because I'm telling you right now, Colby Rhymes is like the only worthwhile linebacker we're pursuing right now because after Colby, it's low 3 stars and he's a stud. I mean, he's a stud, hard hitter, super athletic. He plays running back for his high school. He's quick, versatile. You can put him outside, inside, middle linebacker. Love Colby Rhymes' game, but we'll see if he visits Nebraska. Very tentative as it stands. We just offered a brand new tight end yesterday in Segan Mulholland, who's 6'6", coming out of Bishop Gorman, and he is officially going to visit Nebraska this weekend. Now, it's not technically an OV. I think he's just going to check out the program. He might be back, like 2 weekends in a row, 3 weekends in a row for an actual OV. But again, he's just going to come here, check out the program. I'm actually a big fan of his game. I turned on his film last night. This is somebody who can block at a very high level. He's listed at 6'6". Some have him listed at 6'7". So again, super long arms, great height, can go up and get jump balls. He has a nice run for catchability. Once again, playing great talent over there at Bishop Gorman. Nebraska has made it clear they want 2 tight end commits. This guy and another guy we're about to talk about. And if this visit goes very well, I do anticipate him to commit to the Big Red pretty quickly here, even though we just offered him. Again, we're just getting started. Got a lot more visitors here before we get to some guys who aren't visiting, but some news around them. Mateo Mozee just committed to Minnesota. This was like the weirdest situation of all time. So he visited Minnesota last weekend. He committed to them right after the visit. Then he deleted his commitment tweet, his post on social media, everything, saying I'm completely locked in for the Gophers. He's been radio silent, so we don't know if he's actually committed to Minnesota or not. And then it was leaked that he's still going to visit Nebraska tentatively. We'll see if he shows up at Nebraska. So it's like this is like really reminiscent of like a Brian Tapu situation. Do you guys remember the Brian Tapu situation 2 years ago where he committed to Oregon State, then decommitted and committed to Nebraska like a day later? It could be that. Well, so again, I'm okay with it, right? The edge rusher board's not good right now. We need somebody to visit. Mateo Mo is an edge rusher. He's visiting at 6'4", 220 pounds. Hopefully, we can try to flip him away from Minnesota. Even if I don't, maybe we're just going to get him to commit because he might not even be a real Minnesota commit. I don't know. It's a very weird situation. We'll see if he shows up for Nebraska this weekend. Errol DeMontano is visiting. This is somebody who crystal balls have been in for a very long time. He wanted to commit to Nebraska a couple months ago. I believe the coaching staff told him to wait. Again, he's going to visit Illinois after this. He visited Virginia last weekend. He wants to be a Cornhusker from everything we've heard. So again, he's somebody 6'3", about 270. He's not bad, but I mean, I think the rankings here are pretty accurate, right? I think they're pretty spot on with his game. So listen, I do think this is very one you could see Sunday night, or you could see this Monday night or Tuesday night. So somebody who very well could commit to Nebraska very, very soon. Couple more here before we get to some news about some other guys. Joey Hunter's visiting Nebraska this weekend. Now, he's technically going to visit a couple other programs after this, Georgia Tech, NC State. I don't think he's going to make those visits. He's going to commit to Nebraska this weekend with his teammates, Jordan Agmanoba, Katie Jones. I'll say my full analysis for when Joey Hunter commits, but yeah, I mean, this is somebody where he's a hidden gem. He truly is. Watch his film. He is 6'6". He is 260 pounds. He's somebody where not only can he block, but he's ferocious. I mean, he's trying to truck you every single time he catches the football. I mean, he's a grown man. He's a grown man. Nebraska fans going to fall in love with his game. And again, he has the right build that you look for. Like, he's not 210 pounds. He's 260. He's ready to play day one. So really like Joey Hunter at this point, very, very likely commits to Nebraska. I don't even think that's like I'm making a risk here saying I think it's going to commit to Nebraska. I think we're going to get a lot of commitments after this weekend. Matthew Brady visiting the Huskers. Now, he visited Michigan State last week, and we thought maybe he's going to commit to the Spartans. He did not commit to the Spartans. Now, actually, right now, as we speak, on Wednesday, he's visiting Northwestern. Then he's going to Nebraska. Then he's going to Minnesota. Then he's going to Illinois. So he's kind of going on a world tour. I honestly believe he's going to wait till probably late June, July to commit at this rate. He's going all over the Big Ten. I mean, he's not bad. Like, he certainly has some high athletic upside, 6'4", 220. He's just learning how to play linebacker, right? He's a high school quarterback. But certainly somebody who we want with a shrinking linebacker board. If you can get Colby Rhymes, Matthew Brady, it's not bad. If Matthew Brady is your second linebacker commit, I'm going to be cool with that. But if he's your best linebacker commit, it's like, that's definitely a game ball, right? But visiting Nebraska this weekend, we'll see that situation very much up in the air. And last visitor as it stands is Eli Harris, also coming out of Grayson, Grayson High School, teammate of all those guys, Jordan Agmanoba, Joey Hunter. Now, it's tentative whether or not Nebraska's actually offering him. He released his top three of Nebraska texted him in Pitt, and Pitt's by far the favorite, but he's never reported a Nebraska offer. So from what it sounds like, he's going to go to Nebraska this weekend. Nebraska might work him out and see if they really want him. He's like, again, the high school film's decent, right? He's a hard hitter, somebody with decent athletic upside. He's not super big by any means from a weight or height standpoint. He's not incredibly explosive, by any means, but, very productive. Somebody who is a hard hitter, somebody, you'd expect, coming out of Georgia at linebacker spot. But going to be a weird one to follow here around Eli Harris. Like, he's definitely interested in Nebraska. He wants to play with all his teammates. It'll be interesting to see if the Huskers want him back, but something to follow. All right, some other recruiting news before we get out of here. Once again, Mekhi Williams commits today. He's going to commit to Wisconsin. Nebraska misses out on a safety target there, so again, that's probably the final time to talk about Mekhi Williams, unless somehow he visits in the fall. But I'm perfectly okay with missing him, to be honest with you. He kind of, not a head case, but the whole him committed to Florida State for so long and the way he kind of treated that situation, I was cool with Nebraska missing him. You get Kamari Whitfield, some great news here. He's not committing to Florida right now. He's going to commit, I believe, the 6th of July. He's going to visit Nebraska next weekend. He's going to Oregon this weekend. So Nebraska will get an opportunity to impress Kamari Whitfield, which is all I wanted in the first place. All I wanted was a chance, and we're going to get that. So some really good news there. Zamir Tukes crystal balls continue to roll in for Florida. I mean, there's like 10 of them at this point. But we're sitting here on Wednesday, and he's still not committed to Florida. So I don't know. I'm hoping he somehow shows up on campus for Nebraska next weekend. It doesn't look good, but hopefully he waits to commit because we need a shot at him because he's the only other 4-star defensive lineman we're going after, and I would be remiss if he goes off the board this early. All right, that's it. That's Nebraska's entire recruiting weekend and what we're thinking, all the news. Once again, I'll keep you guys posted over these next couple days. There might be some surprise visitors, right? There might be some guys who don't show up. I'll keep you posted, again, all the breaking news. If there's a commitment, there, I'll post that video. So make sure to not only subscribe, but to put on bell notifications. It's that time of year. And also we'll have a probably recruiting update Saturday morning as well, talking about everything that's going on during the OV and some other news of other prospects nationwide. And then also Monday, of course, wrapping up the OV. So, all right, guys. Gonna be a big weekend. I'm excited for it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hey, man, as far as you know, to like, button, subscribe. As always, folks, go be great. Go back through, and I'll see you in the next one.